Yo, 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 what up? It's your boy, that Ninja J3. Today we back with another video. Got another car wow video. Say he drove the world's greatest hypercar. See what they
This is the
talking about.
Koenigsegg CC850, and in this video, I'm going to review it. Look at some visors.
The rear end look crazy, bro. Like I said in one of my other videos, sports cars like this just look crazy without a spoiler. Which it probably have a spoiler that pop up once they hit a certain speed, but I need one to be
Christian von Koenigsegg
available
and the wonderful
all the time.
CC850, which I have to say, Christian, is my favourite Koenigsegg.
Oh,
That's what I'm going to put my order in for.
Right, well, let's go.
They're all sold out now, aren't they?
They are. They were sold out like the first few hours.
And it's not surprising, really, because this is
with the
phenomenal,
owner.
isn't it, this car?
Yeah, I mean, this is very much a celebration of the first ever Koenigsegg. We showcased it at the Paris Motor Show in 2000 and delivered the first car in 2002, the CC8S. It was
I ain't know Koenigsegg been around that long.
The most powerful production car in the world at the time. It had a detachable stowable roof. It had this super simplistic, naked, Scandinavian-ish maybe sports car design. I think from a shape and design statement, it's the most pure thing we ever made. Of course, we dressed it up with more aero over the years and modernized it, but this is really a look back to the original.
I remember, like, when the CC8 appeared, it's like, okay, so some Swedish guys just come along and like built the best hypercar in the world, and your car broke the world record of the McLaren F1 as well.
We did. The follow-on version, the CCR, also managed to outdo the McLaren F1's top speed.
So let's talk through the design then.
The shape of the car was really trying to create something timeless.
That windshield wiper being in the middle of the car look crazy as hell. I mean, I probably couldn't put it nowhere else to be able to get the whole windshield, but in the middle, just sticking up like that, just look kind of crazy.
When people see the original CC8S today, some people say, "Oh, is that your present version?" No, that's like 20 years old and designed 25 years ago.
I think one giveaway.
Yes.
This.
Yeah.
Lights
yeah,
a long way.
Sure.
You do these lights yourself, right? They're
we
not
do.
Bought in.
Exactly. It's our own lamp design, our own development.
And you've got an air breather underneath it as well. So where's that channeling air to?
Part of the brake cooling. There's kind of a division, so it's also partially into the HVAC.
I got vents that actually work for something. They ain't just vents for no reason.
So obviously, it's all carbon fibers.
It's all carbon. Actually, if you look on the side here, you can see. Back in the day, we didn't show carbon fiber so much, and we chose to not show it so much either, but it's a complete car. So you see everything underneath is beautiful carbon, but the top surface is painted.
Obviously, your Koenigsegg badge there. Surround view
I love
cameras,
carbon fiber, bro.
Yes.
Didn't have that on the original.
No, we didn't.
Light,
it's bird's eye view
durable.
parking, and of course parking sensors as well.
Withstand a bunch of damn heat.
What kind of levels of downforce?
It's quite balanced. We're talking around 400-500 kilos maximum, but the focus is just maximum driving enjoyment and comfort and noise and sounds and things like that.
So it's actually based on the Jesko, isn't it?
The underpinnings are very similar to the Jesko, exactly.
But unlike the Jesko, you've got
I just did that video not too long ago. Y'all running the numbers up on that one. Y'all watching the hell out of that video. Appreciate it, appreciate it.
Original wheel. So if you want carbon for this car, you have to kind of come back after you bought the car and buy it at our Legend division because it's not part of the configurator.
It's so like swoopy and cool and really nicely integrated. How much time does a car like this spend in the wind tunnel?
We have a big cluster of supercomputers with a very advanced aerodynamic simulation, and then we have this flat airfield that you've experienced.
Oh, they did say they did the races at their headquarters.
We can use that flatness and put strain gauges on the car and do coast downs to correlate to the simulation. So each of our
look at Matt. You're like, huh? It's all for the video, Matt. Just let them talk and do what you're doing. That's perfect.
So we kind of minimize the actual wind tunnel.
I don't know what that is.
And how close do you get those?
Very close, within a few percent.
Okay, so it's really accurate, the modelling that you do. In terms of like, everything that you see as a vent is functional. There's no fakery on this.
No, I'm really against anything you put on a car just for the sake of it looking cool. We have none of that on our cars.
Once again, just from this angle, really, really cool design.
That
and
diffuser.
An homage, yet again, to the CC8S. Really like this design with the wing.
See, that got a wing.
It's poking out. Can we make it go up, the wing?
Yeah.
See?
Oh, nice. It's a really nice, smooth action. I like that.
And that just
But
elevates
the thing I love
the
about
aesthetic to
rear
me,
end
like
of
it
this
just
car,
look
and
way
it's
better.
The exhaust. Koenigsegg just can't help but experiment with exhausts, from the flat, high-mounted pipe on the Jesko to the amazing vertical fins on the Regera. However, this CC850 has one of the largest centre exit pipes I've ever seen. But why has Christian pulled out all the stops for this car in particular?
This car we introduced 2022, and that was pretty much on the day 20 years after we delivered the first customer car as a company. I also turned 50, so I said, okay, celebrate 20 years for the car, and I'm turning 50, so let's celebrate that, and I'll build the first car for myself as a present. So it's a CC850.
Hey, you the
and
owner,
we
bro.
covered it.
Got to.
We got immediately up to
Make
like
that bitch
100
keep it.
potential orders, and we only had 50 cars, so we said to ourselves, okay, we'll make a press release immediately, say we'll celebrate 50 for my birthday, 20 for 20 years in production, so we're going to make 70 of them.
Yes. So this car here, it's in white with a white interior.
See,
Your
that's
car,
the thing about those cars. When you get to that level of cars, bro, they only making a limited amount of them, but for what they selling for, they gonna make a profit, bro. You gotta think 70 times probably like that shit probably like what he said CC850 code. $3 million. 3.1 million, bro. Come on. You only need to make
silver,
70
like
at that
the
point.
original CC8
Yes.
was shown in
You
silver,
know,
red
I
interior.
wonder how
as
much it
well.
costs to
Really,
make
really
it,
nice.
though.
Speaking of interiors, let's take a closer
how
look
long
at
it take to make.
CC850's cabin.
Feels very different to the Jesko. It's more luxurious, isn't it?
Yes.
We've
a
got-
bit more old school. I mean, celebrating the old days, analog instrument clusters, real stalks. Feel the weight of these stalks.
Oh yeah.
They are my favorites.
And
Oh, it's machined aluminium.
it's not your plastic
No,
rubbish.
no.
here.
Aluminium.
You
They
cannot
say
find
aluminum
any
so
plastic
crazy over there.
inside the car or anywhere really. I mean, you have of course rubber strips for weather protection. Otherwise, it's only carbon, metal, or leather or Alcantara. And a bit of
Alcantara,
wood
that
for
shit
shifting.
taking
And
over.
we'll come to this in a bit because
Probably
this is
been
the
took over,
strangest
but
thing in
I'm
any
hearing
car
that
on
a
sale
whole
at the
lot
moment.
more.
But love the dials compared to the Jesko, which has the small digital driver's display, which moves with the steering wheel. This is static and it's beautiful.
This is a homage to the first CC8S with this round binnacle sitting on the steering column.
And this all made in-house. Have all your cars always had this feature? Love this. So the key, right? So you got your key. Where do
The
you where do I put my
Koenigsegg
key?
Shield.
Oh, you closed it. We're opening it. I'll open it.
So
Here.
you've got all the buttons to operate it here. Sorry, Christian, I wasn't
No
being
problem.
rude. So you take the key and then you put it there. See, I
Oh,
shouldn't be allowed
shit.
nice things. And so you've got a round steering wheel rather than a flat
The
bottom
convenient,
because
cool
it's
little
more of
placement for a key. I ain't never
It's more
seen
a
that before.
traditionalist thing, just a nice sensation as well to just have a round steering wheel, I think.
The leather inside the car comes from Sweden, that's correct?
Yes, it's a custom leather for us. We've been using for now 10, 12 years. It's called Engel for Ängelholm, which is the town we're in.
I'm really, really conscious that my trainers are on leather.
It takes it really well and it's easy to buff it up. And after a few years, you can always get a new car.
He said a new
Yeah,
car.
I'm also noticing wonderful.
He ain't say
full-mounted
get them
pedals,
like
which is unique in
professionally
itself.
cleaned
And
and
there's
nothing
three
like
of
that.
them,
He said a new
and
car.
just the machining on those pedals. Oh, it's just so. I'm kind of a little bit gushy here, Christian. I do find it a bit bonkers that you're doing your own infotainment system in-house, like programming it and all that kind
Right.
of stuff. That is a bit nuts. I mean, engine, wheels, seats. You
Damn.
make the seats
Hold
yourself.
on.
That-
Right.
I do find it a bit bonkers that you're doing your own infotainment system in-house, like programming it and all that kind
Right.
of stuff. That is a bit nuts. I mean,
Look at that. That shit look crazy, boy. Ah, damn. All that carbon fiber braces. That look like suspension for both sides. Oh yeah, suspension, triplet suspension. That must be like a patented suspension thing they made for just them.
engine, wheels,
look clean.
seats. You make the seats yourself
We do.
in-house. Machine bits of metal. The
Make
infotainment
everything
system,
in-house.
All that, it's all just done here. It's very, very, very unusual.
Probably keep the
It's
cost down a
huge
little bit. They
undertaking,
ain't gotta
and it makes life
pay
difficult
a price
in a
on
way,
top
but
of
it gives you total freedom
paying for
at
materials.
the same time.
I'm going to point out a couple of bits I think you will have bought in. That screen.
The actual screen, yes.
And the chip that runs it and stuff like that. Obviously, you're not
Yeah,
going to be making
the
microchips.
chip, yes.
I'm trying to
but
move
the
my
circuit
head,
board is
see around his
outside.
finger,
All the
like I can
connections
see.
and the
Really?
the firmware, everything, yeah. but we're not
Okay.
a chip producer.
Can you just talk me through the display on here? How
Yeah,
do I control it?
we can press here. You can get through a few. So you have a
G-force.
G-force meter.
Can you get the
G-force.
manual G-force meter, the analog one as well,
not
like
not
in the
on this
Esco?
car, since you have it here, and this
Okay.
would be in the way because it sits on the dash in
Yes, it
front
does.
of the steering wheel, so
Okay.
it doesn't really fit.
It's all quite simple, quite
Yeah.
clear. This is for your driving mode there and your gear, and it's also
Digital
got
speedometer.
digital speedometer. I love this though, like this, because most of the time, in reality, this needle shouldn't, if you're on the road, sweep past there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just tickling around there, but it can go all the way to 420. So one of the things about a
420,
car such
bro.
as this
That's
is
crazy.
how practical can a hypercar be?
Take
So I
that bitch on the
noticed you've got
Autobahn.
A couple of cup holders here.
That's one of my bucket list things I gotta do before I check up out this motherfucker. I gotta get on the Autobahn with something crazy that can go shit 200 plus 300. I don't care, like a Bugatti or something. I just want to get on there and just floor it, bro. That's on my bucket list. I will do that shit one day.
So that's good.
Promise.
Yeah.
Though I will point this out, and it's a problem that I have in my 911. If you've got a big bottle there, going for the gear shift does.
Yeah.
But it's not such an issue like it is in my car because I have no other option than driving in manual mode.
Right.
So if I've got my drink now, I'm just going to whack it into auto mode.
Yes, you heard that right. This car has a manual gearbox with an automatic mode. It's very cool, but very complicated. So I'm going to have to ask Christian to explain it properly in a
Facts.
bit. But before that, let's get back to the cabin.
Is there anything under here? Can we
Yeah,
get
you
Put
can
on
pull it
the
up.
gear shift.
Okay,
So
so
you have a little cub, you have some USB ports.
okay,
That's for our gate.
so this feature here. So these are wireless phone chargers there, aren't
Yes.
they?
You have an indicator there that goes red if the phone is not correct, yellow when it's charging, green when it's
Damn.
down. So you have a little cubby here.
That's
You can
fire. I
flip
ain't
up this,
know they did all that.
armrest, and you have actually pretty good space in there. But then you have, of course, a reasonable luggage space in the front as the whole roof goes in. And for the CC850, we have a nice set of Skidonia bags that are custom fitted to the front end of the car.
Koenigsegg make another. Koenigsegg make another car that's fucking fire that I would not mind having if I had the money. It's called a Gamera. That shit clean as fuck, bro. 4-seater, but it's 2 doors. That bitch, the doors open up the same way as this one. And I'm believing, I don't know if it's full electric. It might be hybrid, but that motherfucker is nasty. And they come with suitcases.
Christian, I'll let
Clean.
you open the bonnet because I'll probably press
Yeah.
the wrong button again. Where did I put my key?
Oh, you closed it. I have a button here.
And I'll
let's
just
see.
grab the luggage.
Damn.
I bet this luggage costs more than my own car. So,
It's pretty roomy, actually.
so there will
Yeah.
be an
Probably-
order to it. So
Yeah,
go on,
so
you-
this
you
one
explain.
kind of goes like this. This one goes here. And this one goes here.
Huh.
And this one, let's see where this one goes.
In the back.
And there you're all set.
That's enough about practicality. Let's check out the heart of the
It's still not a
CC850.
lot, man, but you ain't
What
buying that
specs
car
on the
for
engine?
storage
Fundamentally,
anyway.
they're very similar to a Jesko. The turbo boost is a little bit less, and we have a little bit earlier boost due to that. But otherwise, the internals are very, very similar. The transmission is also very, very similar. But the power level is 1385 horsepower.
That's only
Bro.
It's
Wait.
also very, very similar. But the power level is 1380.
That's OD, bro. 1385 horsepower, bro. Like, what the fuck? You ain't using that shit nowhere. You might use 300-400 of it. And that's depending on how you driving it. 13 is crazy.
5 horsepower.
That's only 85.
Yes, correct.
What's it on
On
normal, like
E85.
95?
It's around 1100.
So you've always
still
got well over
crazy.
1,000
Yes,
horsepower,
yes.
and it's a 5 litre.
5 litre.
I don't even know
So we're obviously rear-wheel drive.
Well, I
we're
would have to,
talking about
like,
the gearbox now,
Google
which is it's
to where to go
huge.
get
Quite small.
E85 gas
Big
from. I
power,
don't know in
yeah,
Pearland
but
because I ain't never
small
really.
gearbox.
You experience
I
the
haven't had a
1500
car to have to
Newton
use
meters
the
in Jesko.
E85,
It goes
but-
through that little tiny gearbox with 9
Madness.
gears and shifts extremely fast.
Even 1100 though, on just regular, not regular,
that's
but
not
he
all.
said
This car
95.
doesn't have a flywheel.
1100
nor
is still
a traditional
more than
friction
enough,
clutch,
bro.
Nor a torque converter. So how on earth does it all work?
We realized with this concept of gearbox, we did not need a clutch on the engine. So then I said, well, you normally mount the clutch on the engine on the flywheel. So if we don't need a clutch, maybe we don't need a flywheel. That was kind of an experiment, because if we don't have a flywheel, we will have the ability to have a super fast revving engine. This is the first combustion engine in the world that I know of in a car with no flywheel. So no one had ever done it before. And the reason why it turned out working in the end is because we have these hydraulic clutches instead of synchros inside the gearbox that acts as damper.
This dude like every car that I done heard about or read about with Koenigsegg, that's like the first of whatever that he developing, there's always some crazy technology that's coming with it. Like he kind of like give me mad scientist vibe. Like he just be in the lab just cooking up shit, just trying shit.
Instead of the flywheel mass.
Basically, this means there's no heavy flywheel to limit how quickly the engine can rev up or rev down. In a normal car, not having a flywheel would be a disaster. The power delivery would be rough and unrefined, and it would be a nightmare to control, especially at low speeds. However, the clever hydraulic clutches in the CC850 smooth out everything for you, so the engine can rev like a racing car, but it still feels smooth and easy to drive on the road. But that's not all. All these clutches are connected by a series of electric and hydraulic actuators. This allows the CC850 to drive like a totally normal 9-speed automatic. Or you can even change the gear yourself using the clutch pedal and gear lever. However, then you only have 6 gears. Obviously, your suspension, you have your coilovers going inboard, which is like a Formula 1 car. Is that
again,
correct?
very minimalistic, and this is not this kind of way of connecting the shock absorber to the
I would
wheels
love to work
is
for
not our
a car
invention,
company like
but it's
this,
the most
bro.
minimalistic indoor
I'd be in
damper,
heaven.
solution you can have, because you
I
don't
would
have
not
any
mind going to
rockers. So
work.
you get direct acting shock absorber and spring from the wheel, but inboard for aero and other reasons. And then we have our
Just the
super
amount of shit that you can
lightweight,
learn, bro.
wide and
That's why a
long
lot of
wishbones. The
these
length
car
means we get less track
companies
with
come out of
deviation
nowhere
and
because they'll
bumping,
be
and we're getting
people
out
like this
calibrating
working
as
for
we
other
should.
car
So you get
companies
a
like
better
Ferrari or
compact patch,
Lamborghini
better
or
stability,
McLaren or
and better
Pagani and other stuff.
power to the
And then they
ground than
have
you
their
otherwise
own
could,
little
combined with our
ideas that
needle
they want to
bearings
try, and then they end
wound
up
inside
somehow
the
being able
wishbones
to
to the
start their
chassis. You
business
get
and
the lowest possible
take off.
friction. To our surprise, when we tried this many years ago, and first on the Agera, it feels like a rubber-mounted suspension to a large degree, but it's solid. So you get the control, but you also get the comfort, which is very surprising.
So I'll be trying that in a bit when we go out on the airfield, and I have a jolly good go in the car. You've got adaptive dampers,
Yes, we have created
jolly
our
good
own
go.
active lifting system. Each corner is individually controlled, so we can make the car do anything really, lean or whatever we want to do, but we don't use that much. It's more to change the rake at speed and ride height at speed, and for different modes.
This is super important because changing the ride height of a car massively affects how stable it is at high speed. And this car is
True.
capable of some very high speeds indeed, and I'll experience that for myself later. The CC850 also has active shock absorbers, which use 2 computers each to separately adjust the bump and rebound damping thousands of times per second. You could in theory
Thousands
customize
of
these
times.
settings yourself, a bit like in a 911 GT3 RS, but Christian explained why this sometimes isn't a good idea.
We could also have like an equalizer menu where you play around if you would like to, but we don't offer that because we want to have this sort of preset good modes. You can screw it up quite easily otherwise.
One last thing, this is a damper, isn't it?
It is a damper as well. That's what we call our triplex suspension, and it's something we came up with when we started going up over 1,000 horsepower.
Came
when
up
you
with.
launch the car with this much power with rear-wheel drive, it really sits down, and many cars therefore have anti-squat geometry.
This is where the suspension is designed to stop the car's backside from pitching down too much when you accelerate hard. It helps maximise grip in a straight line, but can compromise handling in corners. Koenigsegg doesn't have this. Instead, it uses an extra damper to control how far the car squats when you launch it. This is more precise, and it doesn't affect the handling.
So when I was driving the Jesco Absolute the other day, the sensation that you get through the seat of the car like transmitting drive from its engine through its tyres into the ground, you really sense it. Is this damper part of that sensation I'm getting?
A lot, yes.
When we were launching it as well for the drag race, it's a rear-wheel drive car with like got 1,600 horsepower, and the way it takes off,
That shit look like a shark, bro.
it's like odd.
It's a cup tire on that car. This is a 4S, but that you can transfer that kind of power to the ground and get that G-force from standstill, from 2-wheel drive, is unbelievable.
At this point, I needed to experience some of these incredible features for myself. But before that, time for a lesson from the master.
So if you look here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, reverse and drive.
So that's automatic.
Oh,
the
so
manual
they have a
gate,
drive.
It stops here.
I was
unless
wondering
you
how they
press
did
down,
that.
And then
and
you
go
go
to
into
drive.
drive like that. So now we're
Okay.
started in drive.
So that's automatic. You're not touching the clutch.
No clutch at this point. This tractability is like a smooth flywheel engine. It's just super easy to
Because the
operate.
clutches are doing their
They are
thing.
smoothing everything out.
There are actually
Motherfucking dogs, bro. Motherfuckers bark at anything. That shit is annoying.
7 clutches in this car. 1 is used for reverse and the other 6 are attached to their own specific gears. But somehow this car has 9 forward gears, not 6. So how does that work?
At Avis, our only plan is to make sure you keep yours.
Dreaming of a custom home that's exactly how you want it?
Come
At
on,
America's
bro.
Home Place, we've been
God,
building
these
homes
ads.
your way.
God
Well, the
damn.
mechanical gears are split into 2 groups, a bit like sprockets on a bike. And just like a bike, you can connect any gear in the first group with any gear in the second group. This unlocks combinations that aren't possible in a fixed ratio manual gearbox, or even in a dual clutch automatic. In the CC850, the 2 groups of 3 gears produce 9 different ratios, because 3 multiplied by 3 equals 9. Automatic mode uses all 9 gears, and manual mode lets you access 6. Any more, and the H pattern would look like something out of the Fast and Furious movies.
Now this
Not
is
too much on
uh,
Fast and Furious,
automatic.
bro. That's
Now I
my
will
shit.
Press the clutch and go into manual.
And you had to press the clutch to do that?
Yes.
What happens?
Well, actually you don't have to. I will show you. If I don't press the clutch, I cannot engage the gear.
And this is where things get even crazier. Christian hasn't just made a 9-speed automatic gearbox that drives like a manual, he's made sure these controls feel exactly like the real thing. There are special hydraulic solenoids on the gear lever that control how much force you need to use to push it into gear. And this force changes depending on your engine revs, the gear you're trying to select, and the car's current speed. You also have to push it harder when the car is cold, because that's what a real manual gearbox feels like. And none of this is fake. The hydraulics in the cabin are linked to actuators in the gearbox. This means they're allowing you to feel the
See,
genuine
I didn't know that
vibrations
because I ain't never
forces
drove
already
a car of this
behind
caliber
it.
in
It's a
manual.
bit
The
like
only
how an
manuals I've
electric
driven
guitar
has
just
been like little
amplifies the sound
Mustangs or
made
shit
by
like
real
that. So I ain't
strings.
never
But this
had to
can lead
worry
to
about
some
pushing
problems.
hard enough to go into a
can
gear or
stall
nothing
the
like
car.
that. I would love to do that shit though.
You just stalled it.
Yeah.
I would love to get out there and be able to drive some
This
cars
is
like that. Maybe I just need to
Now I
do a
have,
straight car
that
YouTube
on,
channel
so
and
I
just
will look like a star
work my way
toe
into
heel
some
guy,
shit like
which I'm
that.
not, so I'll just show how that works. So now I'm in manual mode. So now it will shift on.
I like the
So,
white on that
ESP
motherfucker too.
on.
That shit just looks super clean.
You can turn that off and then you have to do it with your foot as well. So.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, and when you get tired of that, put it in drive.
And that's the thing, you see. You have these kind of cars, at some point you're going to be in traffic and you're going to be thinking, wish it wasn't a manual.
Exactly.
That's why I got rid of my manual.
It's a shift because I can hear the engine.
Got tired of drifting. Got tired of shifting in traffic and all that type of shit. And sometimes you just want to put it in drive and
But
just
if
be
it
able to
feels
go.
just like a
Manual, you
gearbox,
can't do
does
that.
that mean I could accidentally miss a gear and money shift this multi-million-pound hypercar? I had to ask Christian.
Is it possible or is it not possible
Not
to manage it?
possible.
It's not possible.
That we took out because why kill the car unnecessarily?
Okay.
So we have detent stopping me from going into the wrong gear.
So you just can't.
But yeah, if you force through, it will just say, "Meep."
And it's
you,
not-
you can't, because it's hydraulic, you can really push through if you want to. It just won't accept that
It
gear.
won't accept it. So even if you smashed it in,
Yeah.
it'll just go no.
Exactly. You can try it if you want.
That's on camera. That's a waiver
That's
there,
okay.
Christian.
Yeah, that's okay.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you for taking me out in it.
I mean, that's
I
smart
think
though.
You can have a go.
It's my
You don't want to pay that much
But
for a
before I
car and
drive
then
it, I need to show
just
you a
because
few
you
things about this car
not
that
paying
are
attention or
quite
whatever, you
perfect.
fuck around
The seats
and
are
accidentally
heated
pick the
with
wrong
normal
gear.
ventilation for them, which might be a bit of a problem if you're a customer.
You won't fuck your goddamn gears up and have to bring it in and have the whole transmission reworked and shit.
Channel some air to your dairy air.
Koenigsegg's online configurator isn't open to the public. You actually have to be a Varble customer and then they send you a special login. Or you might have to come all the way down to Sweden, come to their studio and do it here, which is an absolute chore, as you can imagine. Really
See,
does.
that's the Gamera on the screen in the back that they
These
configure.
side air escapes really gather up stones. Look, we haven't driven very far in this car and already there's plenty of debris in there.
The roof can be a bit of a pain to remove.
So you have these latches here, you have a safety button, you press it. So that part is kind of easy. Then you have a little leather strap here to remove these. So it's a little bit of a process. Actually,
It's like a gun going off behind my ear. Right,
we go.
do you need my help now?
no, it makes it easier, but I don't actually need your help. I'll show you.
Okay, go on then.
So we'll open the front bonnet first. There we go. And then I'll get out. Let's see, you have to bend over a little bit. And there you go. And down.
Since it's carbon fiber, that shit probably light as
Sides in
hell.
here.
The way he carrying it seems like it's light as hell.
And this is something we came up with the first car. I mean, this was long before these automatically detachable roofs that you see nowadays. Sure, that's down, these down. And
If we hear a crunch now.
we'll see. Just make sure it's fully back.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of space here, so should be okay. And then it goes down like that.
And there we go, done. Koenigsegg has limited the colour choice on
That's
the
a
car
lot to take off the
to
roof.
just 8 options. More
But I
choice
mean,
is
I
choice.
guess it's probably about the same
Anyway,
as like
not
taking
all
the roof
bad.
off
Some things are
roof
quite
off
cool
of a
things
Jeep. You
about
gotta
this car. The
do all the
paint
little
finish on
different
Koenigsegg
panels and shit
is
like that.
incredible. So you will
Jeep
not
got 3
find
panels.
any orange peel. Reason
Oh,
being,
that shit probably
once the
not
car's
as
been
bad.
painted, they wet sand it and polish it every individual car. So if you just move about and like look at the light, it just moves completely smoothly, no wobbly effects at all. Also, the carbon fibre doesn't have a lacquer coating to it. It comes straight off the tour and then they just sand it and polish it. Luxury. Koenigsegg's doors not only look cool the way they open, but they open in such a way that even if a car parks quite tightly to you, look,
You can still, yeah.
there's
And
still
with
room
that,
for
you
someone to get
definitely
out.
want to be somewhere where
Don't
you can
worry,
get
you
out,
won't
because
hit the carpet
motherfuckers
too
will park
close,
next
it
to your
has filters in
shit
the
just
door to prevent
cause.
that from happening. When you buy a Koenigsegg, you get one of these. What is it? Well, it's sort of like their
Is that a
version
key holder?
of the Fabergé egg. You open it up, and inside is your car's key. Otherwise, you're just going to store your key in a drawer somewhere. But no, with this, you can have it presented on your mantelpiece. Oh,
Guess
it's
that's
so
part of the cost of the
satisfying,
car.
the way it all
That's
fits
fire.
and works and moves. The car has the most extravagant
I wouldn't put it on
fuel
my
filler
fireplace though.
cap on
Somebody could
any
easily,
vehicle.
one of
To
your
get to
kids or somebody
get
just
to
come in
this-
there and grab it. No, you still gotta put that shit up.
to raise the engine cover because it's located there. You can just slot the fuel nozzle straight in. But what you're going to do at the garage is then like walk around and just admire your engine, and other people might start admiring it as
True.
well. Certainly a talking point.
Talking piece.
There are a lot of little Easter eggs which relate to the Ghost Squadron, which was the #1 squadron for the Swedish Air Force, which used to be based at where Koenigsegg's factory is. And there's one in here, and the gear shifter mechanism. The show must go on, but there's loads throughout the car. How cool is that?
That's cool. You wouldn't know that if you ain't an enthusiast though. 'Cause ain't nobody finna be looking at
I think
that
we've
like
waited
that.
long enough. Let's drive this thing.
Facts.
I'm
Let's
here with
drive it.
Marcus. So, Marcus, you are the test driver for Koenigsegg.
Correct.
You need
Yeah.
to be here for
Yeah,
insurance.
exactly.
And I don't
That
want to
reason.
drive this car uninsured because it's very expensive.
It's kind of expensive.
Let's start it then. So,
Yeah.
do I have to put my foot on the clutch to start it?
Yeah, foot on the clutch and foot on the brake as well. And then you just press the ignition button. Yeah, it's ignition first. Yep. And now you're good to go.
Here we go. Let's fire it up. Oh,
So
I've done the
just-
thing.
Yeah, exactly. Just one press.
Beginner's error. So you just dab it. You don't press and hold, do you?
Exactly. Just press it. Perfect. Got it.
So I'm going to go in automatic to begin with. So
Sure.
across.
And you no, you
Push
push
down,
Yeah,
yeah.
press down.
Can I just release the clutch now?
Yeah, you can release the clutch and then you can rely on the brake only.
That feels weird now,
It
just
does.
releasing
In
the
the beginning
clutch.
it feels weird, but you will get used to it.
It's funny how smooth it is when there's no flywheel or no like torque converter. Dual clutches, sometimes when you pull away a little bit,
Right,
yeah, so it's really quite smooth, isn't it, and easy.
Yeah,
Does
That's
this
a
have
crazy
nose in
ass
it?
center cap.
it does. So you can see on your steering
yeah.
wheel. Yeah,
Is that standard or extra?
it's standard. On all Koenigseggs you have a lift mode. And also like if you go on a road like this where you have quite like a
While
bumpy
driving
surface,
around
you
with
can
an
also change
escort.
your driving mode here.
Yeah, put it into comfort.
Yeah. So we will that will raise the car a bit more and soften up the dampening so it's even more comfortable.
You haven't got air suspension, it's hydraulic, isn't it?
Correct.
It's quite easy to drive, really.
Yeah, it's very easy to drive.
Like for this situation, I don't want to actually be in manual mode. For this kind of manoeuvre, it's no fun to be had in manual
No.
mode necessarily.
No.
Sometimes it is nice to just change gears. In fact, you know what? Let's try it.
Yeah,
Can I do it for the first
whenever
one?
you
So
want.
what do I do? I get onto the clutch.
Yeah, clutch in a second gear maybe is a good one. Yeah.
That feels weird.
Yeah.
Going from automatic to shift manual, and like you won't come out of gear. I've got to dip the clutch. I've got to actually
Exactly.
do it. So that's all done by.
Man, I ain't
computer.
drove a manual in a
Clutch
while,
operates
bro.
then when you get them,
Yeah. So we'll
Make me
look
want to
at
get
the
in one
RPM
just
on
for
the
old
gearbox
time's sake.
and it senses the pressure.
Yeah, basically.
Have I got rev match on or not?
Yeah, very much on. So you can try the downshift if you want.
Yeah. Can you turn it off?
Yes, we can.
I'll let you do it.
Yeah, that's all.
What was that? The rev match?
just adds so much to the car, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell out here on your smooth Swedish roads.
Yeah. The comfort, you mean?
The comfort, yeah.
Yeah.
Every British journalist likes to check out the right comfort because our roads are just terrible.
Yeah.
But from what I can see where I've driven so far, it does seem to be very compliant.
That's very important for us in this.
I wonder
car.
how
It's a bit
much,
more GT
like,
focused
what's
than
the
ESCO, so it needs to be
mileage
slightly more
range on
comfortable.
driving that?
But
Like,
even the ESCO
feel like you
felt
drive that for
comfortable,
too
that's
long,
because
you're
it's
gonna
got
have
such a rigid chassis.
hella gas
Yeah,
station
and
stops on
absolutely,
one
it's
trip
also
depending
kind
on
of
how
a
far you're
less
going.
aggressive car than the Attack. The Attack is our real like track weapon, which is a bit stiffer.
I don't find the pedal placement too easy to heel and toe for me.
You can adjust the brake pedal so you can get it closer to you. There is an adjustment.
Oh, so that's not a problem then, is it? So
No.
I definitely want it. It's more toe and toe at the moment
Right.
rather than heel and toe. I haven't done this yet, so I'm going to come in the clutch, down into drive.
Perfect.
It's just smooth.
Okay, now I'm going to come out of it.
Yeah.
I did well there. This car, it's made for me.
Yeah.
He said it's made for me. Go ahead and get you one, Matt. I'm pretty sure you got the money. I know the YouTube channel doing good, bro. I know
Exhaust
you.
sounds good.
It probably
It's
take a
quite
little minute
loud,
for you to
isn't
get
it?
one,
Yeah,
but
we
I
have
think
an
you can get it,
coming
dog.
in Where we're gonna close the exhaust throttles a bit higher up in the rev band,
Ah, right.
so it's gonna be a bit quieter.
When you're just cruising.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some bumps. I found one bump, very small pothole on your Swedish roads.
It's quite interesting because people around here think these roads are bad actually.
What this?
Yes.
This is our finest
Really?
road. This has
Okay.
just been serviced in
Wow,
the
you
UK.
Look at this, it's bad.
No, that's
That
just
is
been
bad.
done.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
Oxfordshire County Council, if there's anyone watching.
Say it's just been
rubbish.
bad. I mean, that's bad.
Here we go.
Hell nah. I can
Wow.
show you some bad roads.
good.
Nigga.
And
that
Macau
was
and
more
Houston
roads,
before
so
I
that's
think they
really
recently
good,
just
yeah.
fixed it, but that shit.
But let's put all the potholes into one.
I'm 33. Macau been fucked up probably at least 30 years, and it was probably ain't no telling before I was born. But since I've been born until recently, like I went down there probably like a year or so ago, and I didn't even realize that it was fixed right away. It kind of took me a little minute, but Houston got some fucked up roads.
One side and find out what this car is like.
So that shit, he talking about people test. So that's bad, but
So
please
I want to launch
put
it.
all them
What
roads in
do I
Houston,
do?
nigga.
Put
It's
it in
a
touch?
it's
Yeah.
a
You
significant
can try to rev
improvement.
It will keep you. You see? So that's
Okay.
basically your launch control.
Can I dump the clutch?
It's quite rough. It will probably stall. So-
Okay,
so-
what?
yeah.
Okay, that's good then, because
Yeah.
that's like kind
Yeah.
of realistic.
Yeah, but I think you will. The best
Feather it a
thing is-
little bit.
Feather it, yeah.
Here we go then.
Yeah, stall.
Yeah. Try again.
Oh,
Green came up quick. Motherfucker, look like it's moving though.
that's good. Like.
I wonder
because
what's
it's
top
smooth,
speed.
Seamless.
Predictable.
When you smash.
What's top speed on that thing? CC850. Top speed 280 to 310.
In here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
280
like
to
to cock it up.
310.
The rev matching on or off because it turns on when you cycle the ignition, so I can turn it off if you want.
Yeah, let's
Bro.
turn it off.
Yep.
310, bro. I ain't never even. I can't even fathom doing 300 in a car. Nigga, 300 miles per hour in a car. Insane. You got to be on a fucking airstrip to get to 300.
Do you know what I
Or
like?
the
I can
Autobahn
put pressure on the
straight
gear
stretch.
lever, so like preload it for the change,
Exactly.
and it doesn't slot out.
You're just like me. I've been asking for it a lot, so you can have pressure and then.
Yeah.
Damn, show the speedometer, bro. I want to see what he going. What he doing?
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to money shift it.
Okay,
You
right.
ready?
You can try.
I'm going to go from fourth into second at high RPM. I can't.
No?
Woo! It's really funny. It lets you stall,
Yeah.
but it doesn't let you do something that's catastrophic.
Exactly.
If I launch it in automatic, is it?
So the launch control, we cannot activate it right now because we don't have any pedal shifters in this car.
Okay.
We will add it later.
So there's not.
And we will also develop a launch control for drive without pedal shifter since it's an option. But we don't have it in this car right now.
When it's ready, Koenigsegg's launch control will be totally unique. Because the car has 9 gears, it can automatically decide which ratios to use to give it the best possible launch. For example, it can start in 2nd gear to reduce wheel slip, and it can choose to skip 3rd gear completely if going straight into 4th keeps the engine in the power band for longer. But that's not all. Eventually, you'll be able to
But
customize
it's
the
old technical
ratios
ass
yourself.
car.
It'll be like having your own Formula 1 team switching the mechanical gears inside a Formula 1 car's gearbox to maximise its top speed on different racetracks. But because all of this is done through the car's software, you won't have to get your hands dirty or employ a massive team of engineers. Let's launch it anyway in auto. So can I brake boost it or not?
A little bit, I think, yeah.
Okay. I was better. That feels madder. That's faster.
It's way faster.
Gear shifts on auto.
Yeah, it's the Jesko now. So we have like 2 cars in one.
3 because it's convertible. No, you multiply it, so it's 4 cars in one.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Easy.
That's quite different, isn't it, when you do it like that? Let me just back to back. I need to double check.
Yeah.
I can't be sure. So I'm now in manual again. That just feels old school.
Damn, bro, I want to get some shit like that,
It feels
man.
like a different car.
Yeah.
Right, let's do one more launch in.
He launching the fuck out that hoe.
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
It's the gear changes now.
That shit sounds so good.
Now I want to do some kind of like the grip and stuff. This now I want paddles.
They letting him do whatever he want in that bitch.
Well, but I want to control the gears myself.
That's why he got the driver with him though, so he can kind of let him know what's capable and what's not. What it's capable of and what it's not. Don't let me get no money, bro. I'm putting all celebrities to shame,
Everyone
bro.
knows
I'm gonna
what's
have
good for an
a
excess.
crazy ass
Don't.
car collection. And I'm driving them all. I'm modding them if I can to like, I ain't gonna mod them crazy, but what I can do, I don't give a fuck how much they cost. I will need to do something to it. I just don't like driving stock cars. Well, drifting the fuck out that hoe. That shit look fun, bro.
So then, what's my final verdict on the CC850? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? I think you know the answer now.
If you can get it. That's fire. That's fire, bro. See, now if you had the 3 million to goddamn go and get it, then you can go ahead and get it. But I like how they let him just kind of do whatever the hell he wanted to do in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And kind of told him like, go ahead, ball out, do what you want to do. W video, W Koenigsegg. If I ever had enough money to get one, I would definitely get one. I don't know if I would get the CC850, but I mean, I wouldn't be against it because, like I said, they ain't making that many models, so you could probably kind of get what you can get unless you go and get it used or something like that, and you could probably pick and choose what you want. But W video, man, W Koenigsegg. If y'all fuck with the video, drop a like for your boy. If you fuck with your boy, drop a subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what y'all want to see later on. Peace.